Gemini, I've been kind of struggling with the energy in your reading because the main message is you're overcomplicating something, overanalyzing something, overthinking something. When what you're looking for, what you're seeking, the solution, the truth, the path, it's simple and you already have it and it's laid out before you. That's the main message. And the reason why I'm struggling with this is because every time I start talking about it or getting further into this message, it gets more complicated. And I feel like we just get into that energy of making something more complex than it needs to be. So I'm going to pull out some cards and see what Spirit has to say to you. I did have these cards come out already, but I'm going to pull new cards. But they were Uncover and Beast. And this is that like investigation, analysis energy that you may be in, trying to figure out deeper meanings, deeper truths, uncovering the conflict, figuring out why somebody is the way they are, why you feel this way about that. There's something here where Spirit's saying, yeah, but like it's actually the answer is so simple and you already have it. You've already come to that conclusion. You've already arrived to the conclusion, but you may not like the conclusion, or it may feel underwhelming. Maybe it's not satisfying, but you already have it. There's also a message here about how smart and intelligent you are. And because you are those things and creative, you may be projecting that onto someone else, assuming that they too are just as intelligent, smart, and creative, and that there must be more to this. But the truth is, they're not. Do they have layers? Yeah, probably. Hidden motives? Sure, whatever. Yeah, everybody has all those things, a shadow, a subconscious mind, trauma, etc. But you've already gotten the answer. You already know what's happened. You already know why something is the way it is. Or if you're like working on a project, you're a writer, or you're doing something creative, you don't need to make it more complicated. It's working. Okay? It just might feel underwhelming because you're so smart, so creative, that you like to have this complex puzzle to solve. You know, it satisfies you, gratifies you in some way. It stimulates your mind, even if it's something difficult that you're working through. Also, the reason why you may be overanalyzing and overcomplicating something is because in the past, when you did ask the questions and when you did go further, you did get some information that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Things were revealed to you. So now your mind is like, well, that worked for me in the past. It's got to work for me now. And maybe you can still go into layers and find things out that you wouldn't find out. But Spirit's saying it might be better to just hang your hat on that simple answer to what you already have in front of you. That may feel more freeing to you. Actually, I think it will. You're going to regain some kind of authority and control over your time and your energy if you just go with what is obvious, evident, and simple. You know? And sometimes that's a difficult truth. Okay? But it's one that you need to look at, or to just accept and move on, you know? Or to be happy with what you've created and give it a shot, put it out there, see what happens. You don't need to keep refining and tweaking and, you know? So let's get into the cards and see what else Spirit has to say for you, Gemini. And as you move forward in time, the answers do get simpler. Okay, when you remember something painful, you're not all tangled up and jumbled up in your mind. There's more of an emotional distance that's been created, an energetic distance even. So much so that everything makes sense and you can explain it to yourself in less than a minute. This is what I'm getting. So there could be some kind of emotional distance you need to create, or energetic distance you need to create with something that's causing conflict in your life, so that you can sit comfortably with the simple, true, self-evident, and obvious answer. Because what you might not understand is yourself. and why you feel so energetically pulled and tangled up in this and trying to find out more about it. Why am I like this? Why do I need to know this? Well, it's because you're smart and you're creative, and there's a drive within you to do something new. And you might be trying to find out something new because you feel your soul, your higher self, wants to create something new. So you're interpreting it as like, well, there's something new in this. So I feel like Spirit's saying you can satisfy your soul in that feeling that maybe you haven't put a name to yet by taking it somewhere else. Getting involved with something that is actually challenging and complicated, but in a way that doesn't feel oppressive or wastes your time or controls you. The card that came out is Burrow, exhaustion, questioning motivations, and realignment. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. It's this constant questioning of someone's motivations, or your own even. And, you know, when we do self-work, inner work, shadow work, and all that, we do have to ask those questions and keep probing and exploring and all of those things. But there has to be a point where we arrive at an answer and accept it. Otherwise, we're just going to get lost in the shadow. We have to pull what we learn, what you've already learned, into the light and accept it. Okay? Sometimes the easiest thing we can do, 8 of Cups, yeah. Sometimes the easiest thing we can do is look at what actually happened, right? What's actually happened. Forget the motivations, forget the psychology, forget all of that, the intuitive feelings you have and all of this. Not that they're not important, they are. But when you're in this kind of, I'm hearing crunch time, okay, I don't know, where you feel like maybe the walls are closing in or like you're exhausted, right? You need realignment. Going back to what actually happened and stripping it down, bare bonesing it. They did this, they said that, then this happened, okay? Or I went into this meeting and then that's what they said and then they never called back. You know, like I don't know what it is for everyone, but it's like just recalling the events without narrating the whys could be helpful for you to see clearly the simple, obvious answer. Okay. Some of you, not all of you, and I'm a big proponent of therapy, okay? So it's nothing against it. But some of you have made therapy, or maybe there's a mentor of some sort, or maybe it's even schooling, I don't know. But you've made something a habit. And you already have your answers. You already have what you need. You got it. But you keep going anyways. And it may not be serving you. Okay, so that's something you have to figure out for yourself, but that's coming through. So 8 of Cups is coming out to clarify Burrow, exhaustion, questioning motivations. Well, we all know what this is by now, right? Walking away from the emotional attachment to something that maybe mattered to us quite a bit, but didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. And we know that. You know it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or you know something's not going the way you want it to. That's why you're here. I think. Maybe you have other motivations, but I'm not going to question them. So Spirit is saying now you are going to move towards the 9 of Cups, to what you really want. Okay? You already know something is not what you want. It's not working. There's something weird, icky. Maybe you just intuitively feel something and you're trying to find out why. And Spirit's saying, just trust your intuition. That's why it's there, so that you don't have to overanalyze everything. Your intuition is like a shortcut to Spirit saying, not for you. So use it in that way. It's there to help you. Think of intuition as something that you can use to be more efficient with your decisions. Not just something that leads you to more answers. Because it can be that too. but let's use it efficiently sometimes, right? Get a bad feeling about that, not going to do it. Next, right? Instead of going into, well, why? What am I feeling? What's this person really about? Sometimes it's not necessary. Okay, and I'm picking up on someone here where you're exhausted. And this reading is a little tiring too, because we're trying to break away from the thought form, which is okay, I'm fine with it. But Spirit is saying the Emperor and the Star is like, you need to take back control and authority of your own destiny, fate, energy, what you give to, where you pour out your energy into. Be more consciously aware of it. What are you feeding and what's feeding you? Sneaky tricks, cunning. Well, this is, most of you have dealt with someone who, or something, where there have been sneaky tricks involved. Person's a liar. Right? Like, we know this. Maybe it's not a laughing matter. But at the same time, part of the trick is getting so consumed with figuring out what the trick is. Okay? So someone has been cunning. Someone has been sneaky. Someone has done something tricky. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You know that already. So now you need to make a decision of what you're going to do about it. Okay? And for many of you, you already know all the whys. Maybe it's come out in other readings. You already got your answers. I'm hearing something like the curse of intelligence. Can't be satisfied with the simple, right? So be aware of that. Get involved with something that does challenge your mind, but in a way that you decide is good for you. The great unplug detachment for the challenge. Unplugging yourself. Maybe this is literally you need to take a step back from analyzing the sneaky tricks of something that's going on online or that you're witnessing online. Or maybe this is even tarot readings, like enough, right? There's got to come a point where we're like, okay, I don't need another reading for a good while. Otherwise, what are we really doing? We're satisfying maybe boredom, or we're using it for entertainment, and that can be fine as long as we consciously know that. But there's somebody here who's exhausted. And the more you question motivations, the more it depletes your energy. Okay, so you got to unplug from that. Yeah, I get it. Okay, let's see. Tell me about Gemini's energy. Tell me about Gemini's energy. What do they need to hear? The runaway, secrets, running from problems. It's not running from problems. It's not. To decide to unplug, to decide, you know what, I don't want to ask any more questions right now. That's not running away from a problem. That's making an executive decision, being the emperor and deciding this is where I want to put my energy and this is where I don't. This is understanding, hey, maybe I need something else to focus on to satisfy that drive, that will I have inside me to figure things out. If somebody has run away in some way from you, which I don't think it's for many of you, what do I say? Reclaim the mundane, mindfulness. Yeah, that's like getting back to the basics again. It's like getting back to the simplicity of it. Well, they left, right? They left because they wanted to. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and you've already found out why. Okay? The biggest problem that we have when it comes to accepting the truth is believing that everyone is like us. Once we realize that people think in different ways, like really realize that, and stop projecting our intelligence or anger or whatever we're projecting onto other people in other situations, and we realize like, hey, that's something that I don't understand because that I'm not them. Then we can accept things a little bit more. Now, it is true spiritually that all are one, but in this experience here, you can't imagine from someone else's perspective or from the other side of something why, all the reasons why. You're not going to be able to get there. And they aren't able to get where you are either. And so there's some kind of acceptance that needs to come around that. Okay? But I feel like for most of you, this is you worried that you're running away from your problems. You know, maybe when you grew up, you were the solution maker. You were the glue that held everything together. You were the strong one, the one with the backbone, the one who tried to mediate, right? Most likely, you're empathetic, you're creative, you're smart. You probably did a lot of that. So now you feel like when you don't come to that solution, when you don't bring everything together, when you don't do everything you need to put things back together, that you're somehow running away from a responsibility. But you're not. You were someone's emotional caretaker when you were younger, whoever I'm connecting to. And in that emotional caretaking, you had to understand why they are the way they are so that you could take care of them in the way that they made you or asked you to take care of them as a child. But this is not that situation. You don't need to understand why, and you don't need to take care of this for someone else. The way you take care of this for yourself is accepting the simple truth and walking away. Detaching emotionally, energetically, mentally. Focusing your energy somewhere else. Every time you get the urge to question a motivation, try to redirect your energy because you already know. You trust yourself that you already know. The more you ask yourself about someone's motivation after you've already decided kind of know what it is, the more you're telling yourself, well, I don't really trust what I've already told myself. The orator, communication and confidence. Exactly. Be confident in the things that you have communicated with yourself, that your higher self has communicated with you. The adventure, responsibility, and expectation. See, it was your responsibility to know when the volcano was going to blow and why, so that you could protect yourself. And that's still lingering in this situation. I need to know why. I need to make sure nothing catches me off guard. I need to keep questioning the motivations. So I feel like I can kind of control what's happening or fix things or, not be taken off guard. But really, all you have to do is remove yourself from it. And tell yourself, keep telling yourself, I know the truth. I have the truth. And even if that truth is, this doesn't feel good, that might be all you need to know. This is not right. What happened is not right. There you go. Let that set you free. I'm hearing this, okay? And this is a general reading, so I don't know for everyone. And someone told me on the last reading that I'm always caretaking the people watching and never telling them what they're doing wrong. I don't agree with that. Sometimes that tell you what you're doing wrong. But I'm hearing this. You did nothing wrong. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? All right. Let's get in further. Maybe that's what you're actually trying to figure out. What did I do wrong? Because when you couldn't mediate or pull things together or fix things when you were a child, it was your fault, right? That's who I'm connecting to. Something similar to that. It was your fault. How dare you not do that? So maybe you're asking all these questions because you don't want to be at fault. But you're not. That's the truth. You're not at fault. I don't know who needs to hear this. Yeah, 8 of Swords. But you do. That's your energy. Okay, what is it that you don't see coming? Yeah, okay, so this is more confirmation, but I'm going to clarify these cards further. Yeah, what should we clarify with that? Yeah, Page of Swords. Yeah, that's investigating, searching. Okay, Gemini. 8 of Swords for your overall energy. This is really, this is the same energy. This is exhaustion. This is overanalyzing, overthinking. It doesn't feel good. So let's see. What do you want to say about that, Spirit, that I haven't already said? The Ghost and divergence. Yes, this is linked to something deeper within you. There's like something haunting you around this, around overthinking. I don't know exactly what it is for everyone, but you should get into it. If you're going to overthink, this is where to go with it. It's like asking yourself, where does this come from within me? To try to question everything to the point where I'm exhausted. Where did that begin? What's my first memory around that? Because it's kind of haunting your current thoughts, like that whole feeling of I need to find out. And I don't accept already what I've heard anymore. There's something else. Okay. So where is that coming from? What's the fear attached to that? Is there a reward that you get when you do find something out? Does that feel satisfying? Is that what you're looking for? I don't know. There's something there for you to ask those kinds of questions. And I feel like the answers are right there. You're going to come to the conclusion quickly. This isn't like a 9-month hermit shadow work journey you're going on. This is I'm going to sit down with a cup of tea, get out my journal and say, WTF, am I overthinking this still? What am I scared of if I stop thinking about it and see what happens? And I feel like the thing that comes up is the truth, is what you need to know. Okay? Because Spirit's telling you to diverge from this thing that's haunting you, this energy, this memory, this expectation that's been put on you to figure everything out. Right? Are you the person who figures everything out all the time? Well, guess what? This time, you don't have to, or you already have, and now you don't have to anymore. So release yourself from that. 2 of Wands for what you don't see coming. This is a big choice for you. This is a fork in the road moment. Am I going to keep on going down this path and wrap myself, I'm hearing in a basket. I don't know what that is. Wrap myself in a basket. Maybe all the weaving of a basket going together, trying to weave all the pieces together, and you're weaving it around you, and then you're done weaving the basket, and you're like, oh shoot, I'm stuck inside I don't know, something like that. I'm stuck inside what I've woven together. Interesting image that I'm getting. Do you want to do that, or do you want to choose something different? So that's what you don't see coming, is that you're at this point in your path on your journey where you're like, I know that this is probably not healthy. I know that I'm exhausted and I need to realign. And it's up to you to do it. No one else can do that for you. That one nugget of information that you're still looking for isn't going to be the key that aligns you. It's the choice that you make that you don't need that nugget of information because you already know. That's what realigns you. Now, maybe you'll still get that information somehow, but the choice that you don't need it because you have everything you need is really the moment of awakening here. Peace. It's the moment of peace, too. Come to peace with it, you know? And that's a hard thing to do. Very hard. It's taken me years to come to peace with things that have happened in my life. And there's still more I need to do for that to happen. So I know. But at least I know. And you do too. You know that you need to do this to release these thoughts. Knight of Swords for the opportunity. Yeah, okay. So these are the quick answers that you get when you say, what's going on with me? Quick answers come up. You know, Knight of Swords, run with it. House. Look at you going to this house. See, the house to me is like the place, you know, where we learned everything, like the family, where we learned all of these things and the way to be and how to react and respond to situations. And this is you coming in. I don't know, you're tearing something down here. Some structure. Let's find out more about the house for the opportunity. Now, some of you are going to move and you're overthinking the whole thing. And Spirit's saying, look at the obvious things. Does it check the boxes or not? Then make your decisions. Okay. Let's see. Anything else about this? The Nine of Swords. Yeah, it's like I feel like you've been housing a situation in your mind when you don't need to. Evict that freaking thought. Or whatever it is, that entity, that worry, that concern. Okay? You've been housing it. Yeah, okay. So the opportunity is to run with the first thing that comes to you. You know, the Knight of Swords, for better or for worse, sometimes for worse, but in your case, not, and it's for the better, doesn't overthink things. Yes, this is the energy you need. The Knight of Wands. It's like, he doesn't even want to be in this reading. He's like, come on, man. We got other places to go, other things to see. This is being in unison with your passion, with your energy, with your soul drive, with your spirit. You're riding together quickly, trusting your direction, feeling alive, energy. This is the opposite of exhaustion. And that's your opportunity. Okay, and the Knight of Swords is helping you. Your inner Knight of Swords is helping you with that. Okay? Some of you just need to maybe say something. You've held back and you've been like, oh, what do I say? I've rewritten this email like 500 times or whatever it is, right? Just say what you need to say and get it off your chest. And that's not always the best advice, but it is in your reading. The Three of Swords, or don't do it at all if you don't want to do it. Maybe that's why you haven't done it, because you don't actually want to do it. Okay? The Three of Swords for the challenge. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I do apologize because I feel like I'm being a little bit flippant about your energy. But it's kind of the vibe, right? Like, maybe it's a little bit of a tough love vibe. Like, Gemini, come on. Because you're stronger than you think. Okay? And I don't think sugarcoating this or anything is going to help you. But I said that because your challenge is the Three of Swords. So something is hurtful, does hurt. And I do see that, and I do understand that. But I feel the part of you that's like really anxious to just get the hell away from this sneaky, exhausting energy, this conflict. You know? That part of you that's telling you that is your friend right now. Okay, so let's see. Tell me about the Three of Swords. Because the Three of Swords is about heartache and pain, but it's mental, right? It's the swords. It's hurtful words, hurtful thoughts, hurtful memories. Which is, for me, better in some ways than receiving the Five of Cups, because that's the emotional despair. And Spirit, I feel like, is saying you can detach from this. I feel like you've kind of worked through a lot of the emotions already. Wheel of Fortune, yes, you're ready for the shift. You're ready for the change. The other side of your life, like the next part of your life, is on the other side of this. The shift that you want is on the other side of this. And you're at that crossroads right now to decide. You're going to have to be a little bit disciplinary with yourself. Like, tell yourself, okay, like, stop, enough. Or I'll give myself 2 hours of the day to ruminate about this, but that's it. Or I don't need to come up with the solutions. Or my final answer is no. You know, like, you're going to need to be kind and loving with yourself, but also tough. Manifestation. All the tools on the table you need to use, like the Magician, right? The sword. I'm hearing the spear, which I guess is a sword, or it could be the wand. Pentacle and the cup. Like, you have to use all of those energies to support yourself right now, because there is a manifestation that wants to come through for you. Maybe you're mentally blocking it with this. We've gotten stronger here. Justice for your advice. Rebalancing and karma. So if you're mentally exhausted from questioning, thinking, figuring out sneaky tricks that somebody has up their sleeve, all of those things carry an energy with them. They carry a certain kind of karmic energy. They have effects. Those thoughts and consuming yourself with that, or being in the Eight of Swords, will create certain situations in your life. It's just inevitable. So I feel like Spirit is telling you to free yourself from going down a path of distrust in yourself, in others, in the world. Period. Now, questioning motivations, critical thinking is a good thing. But this deep distrust won't serve you. Okay? So maybe that's something you need to work on. Justice, freedom. That's your advice. The justice, karmic justice in this situation for this person or this thing, whatever's happened, is to free yourself from it. Don't attach yourself like the devil, right? Greed. Somebody wants you to be attached to it. Or there's like, your energy is valuable and people are greedy for it. Or, I don't know, just energy in general might be greedy for it. Decay. Stop feeding something and stop letting it feed you. Okay? I don't know why that's coming through in that way, but that's what I'm getting. So the outcome for you, I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. We're going to see what's underneath all of this. Who knows? We'll see what happens. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. If you cannot go to the extended, then trust that Spirit gave you all you needed right here. Okay, let's see. 7 of Wands for your outcome. This is you standing up for yourself, defending yourself. So let's see. Flying and Temperance. Oh, I love it. Temperance is a card of healing, a card of alchemy, a card of creation, patience and tempering your mind. This is you flying above this. You're going to fly higher and higher, and it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're going to be like, what is that down there? Oh yeah, I remember that. But I can barely make it out. I'm so high up in the air. You know, my vision is so much more expansive. I have places to go, things to do, opportunities to explore. Yeah, that thing is just getting smaller and smaller. That's what I'm seeing. And right now, you're already higher than it. You already are seeing it as smaller than it used to be. You do have a good vantage point here. You've climbed the mountain already. But you're going to go even higher. You're going to fly higher than this. You're going to stop looking down at it, focusing on it. And you're going to lift your head and look towards the sun, look towards the moon, look towards the world and everything that it has to offer you. That's what I'm seeing in your future. All right, Gemini. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.